Okay, the topic is leadership. And so this is part 3. Leadership. This is part 3. Okay. In the previous editions, we established a few things, and I want to share some of them with you this evening. First, we said that competence is getting the job done. Competence is getting the job done. Leadership is getting the job done through others. Okay? Competence is getting the job done. Leadership is getting the job done through others. So, effective leadership multiplies productivity. And we established that when you fail to transition from competence to leadership, your ability to produce results will be limited significantly. When you fail to transition from competence to leadership, your ability to produce results will be limited significantly. Okay, that's what John Maxwell calls the law of the lead. Let's listen to what John Maxwell has to say about the law of the lead as we proceed this evening. John Maxwell says that leadership ability is the lead that determines a person's level of effectiveness. The lower an individual's ability to lead, the lower the lead on her potential. The higher the individual's ability to lead, the higher the lead on her potential. So, for the last 2 sessions, I've been sharing with you, okay, how to transition from competence to leadership. And there are 3 big suggestions I've made before now. I said to transition from competence to leadership, first, you become a lifelong student of leadership. Number 2, adopt the right attitude toward other people. And then number 3 is to develop the will to lead. Let me say that again. To transition from competence to leadership, first, become a lifelong student of leadership. Okay, in other words, you've got to understand what leadership is. You've got to understand how leadership works. And honestly, it's going to take you perhaps the rest of your life, okay, to understand, to continue to learn. See, because the more you know, the more you discover that there is to know. And then number 2, I said, adopt the right attitude toward people. You've got to realize that people are not the problem. People are never the problem. And then number 3, develop the will to lead. I said to you in the past sessions we had that leadership is a lot like financial investment. To make it big, you must be willing to invest for a very, very long time. Those who succeed in leadership, those who are effective in leadership, are those who have chosen leadership. You see, this is what I found out on the journey, okay, of leadership. In your leadership career, if I can use that word, you will have many opportunities to want to quit or to want to give up. That is why you need the will to lead. People will test you. Situations and circumstances will test you. Challenges will come, and they come in cycles. If you don't have resilience, the will to lead, the tendency is for you to give up, okay, on leadership. Now let's push forward this evening. In its simplest form, the most basic definition of leadership, I believe, is the one proffered by John C. Maxwell. John Maxwell says that leadership is influence. Leadership is influence. Famously said by John Maxwell, he that thinks he leads but has no one following is only taking a walk. Okay? People don't follow titles. People follow people. People don't do what you say. People do what they see and what they are inspired to do. In previous sessions, I've shared with you how that leadership is not control. Leadership is influence. Now, one of the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership, okay, from that book by John Maxwell, is the law of buy-in. It says that people buy into a leader before they buy into his vision. People go along with the person they get along with. What are we saying? If people don't like you, they won't follow you, okay? If people don't like you, they won't follow you. So there is a question I ask, or rather I present to every aspiring leader. This is a question you must ask yourself from time to time, and you must be able to proffer an answer to. Are you ready? This is it. Ask yourself this question. Why will anybody follow me? Okay? Why will anybody follow me? This is an important question. Why will anybody follow me? Listen, there are certain personal qualities that make for effective and influential leadership. John Maxwell, in his book 21 Indispensable Qualities of a Leader, identifies 21 of them. Now, I know 21 is a big number. 21 is a lot. So what I did over time was to identify what I consider the top 5. Okay, the top 5. And this is what we are saying. Why will anybody want to follow you? It is going to be because of the quality of your person. Like we have said before now, people don't follow titles, people follow people. Okay, the people will buy into your person before they buy into your vision. If they don't like you, they won't follow you. People go along with the person they get along with. So what I want to do in this session is to share with you perhaps what I consider the top 5 qualities of a leader. Why? So that you can identify them, so that you can imbibe them, so that you can be sure that you have these 5 qualities in your life. I'm going to encourage you to read the book, if you can lay your hands on it, the 21 Indispensable Qualities of a Leader. I'm going to encourage you to learn about the 21, but my suggestion tonight is if you can master these 5, you will be effective in leadership. If you can master these 5 qualities, that's why I call them the top 5 qualities of a leader. So let's go over them, okay, in the time that we have left this evening. The first quality is charisma. Charisma, okay, charisma. The first quality of a leader you want to develop is charisma. Now, what is charisma? Charisma simply is personal appeal. Another word for charisma is personal magnetism. Okay, charisma is a personal attractiveness or interestingness that draws people to you. Charisma makes it easy for people to get along with you. Now, how do you develop charisma, or how do you exude charisma? It's very simple. It is by developing a genuine interest in other people. That's how you exude charisma, all right? That personal magnetism, that thing about you that makes people just want to be around you or want to be involved in whatever you are doing, okay? It flows out of you when you develop genuine interest in other people. John Maxwell advises that for you to exude charisma, okay, you should personify the following things. 4 of them, okay? These are 4 things you should personify if you want to exude charisma. John Maxwell says, number 1, you should love life. Okay? People enjoy leaders who enjoy life. Number 2 is put a 10 on every person's head. In other words, expect the best of them. If you want to exude charisma, number 1, love life. Be that kind of person that is positive, that is, that is fun to be with, somebody who enjoys life. People like to do life with the person who enjoys life, all right? And number 2 is what? Put a 10 on everybody or on every person's head. In other words, expect the best. When you meet people, don't be paranoid. When you meet people, expect the best of them. Let people know that it is up to them to prove to you that they are not worthy of trust. Okay, you are not suspicious, you are not paranoid, you are inviting, you are open, you expect the best of them, okay? When you have that attitude, it draws people to you. The third one is this: give people hope. You want to exude charisma? Give people hope. How do you do that? Focus on possibilities, okay? Focus on possibilities. Everybody can see the problem. Everybody can talk about the problem, but people will like to follow the person who does not only see the problem, but who sees solutions to the problem. So give people hope. And then number 4, you want to exude charisma. Number 4, John Maxwell says, share yourself. Share yourself. People are attracted to generous people, okay? Share your wisdom, share your resources, share special occasions with other people. People are attracted to a person who is generous. What are we talking about? We are looking at the top 5 qualities of a leader. And the first one is charisma, personal magnetism, personal interestingness, personal appeal. And I told you to exude charisma, develop genuine interest in other people. What does that tell us? Leadership is not a space. The space of leadership is not for selfish people. It is not possible for you to be selfish and to be effective in leadership. Somebody said it this way: you can love people without leading them, but you cannot lead people without loving them. If you want people to be attracted to your cause, first, you have to be vested in their cause. You've got to be interested in what is important to them. The first quality every leader must develop is charisma. The second quality I believe every leader must develop is character. Character. Okay? The quality of your person. Another word for character is who you are when no one is looking. Who you are when no one is looking. This is what I have discovered, that effective leadership demands that you intentionally replace negative personal qualities with positive ones. If you want to be effective in your leadership, you have to consciously and intentionally replace negative personal qualities with positive one. I'm talking about personal qualities or positive qualities like integrity, commitment, humility, tolerance, etc. You've got to intentionally replace. See, you may not know the things that are undesirable about you. Everybody perhaps has a blind spot. See, but when you are self-aware and you know things about you that are undesirable, it is your responsibility, if you want to be influential, if you want to be effective in leadership, to replace those negative personal qualities with positive ones. Why? Because good character inspires trust. Okay? Good character inspires trust. And trust is the foundation for effective leadership. Good character inspires trust. And trust is the foundation for effective leadership. Why? Because trust, okay, is measured by commitment. When people trust you, they will make personal sacrifices to make your dream come to pass. They will make personal sacrifices for the organization. They will make personal sacrifices for the team when they trust the leader. Okay, that is why if you must be effective in leadership, you've got to be a person that can be trusted. And that has to do with your character. Okay? Trust is measured by commitment. When people trust you, they display it by making personal sacrifices for your team or for your organization. So if you want to be effective in leadership, you've got to be a man or a woman of character. This is what we have discovered, that it takes a very long time to build character, or better still, to build trust. Okay, so trust or character is the foundation for trust. Okay, when people trust you, they sacrifice, they commit to your cause. But it takes a very long time for people to get to trust you. All right, but it takes only a moment of bad judgment to destroy, okay, trust. So you want to be careful. Listen, it's important that you focus on your quality or the quality of your person, focus on your character, and make sure you are a man or a woman of integrity. A wise man said it this way. He said, take care of your character and your reputation will take care of itself. You take care of your character and your reputation will take care of itself. And that's the reason why leaders are so, sensitive, or they are so guarded. They know, okay, I can build my reputation for 20 years, and yet in just 2 minutes, in just 5 minutes, just one snap error in judgment, you can destroy trust. This is what I found out. When trust is broken, it takes more to rebuild trust than to build it in the first place. That is the reason why leaders are men and women, effective leaders that is, are men and women of character. Here's what I've also discovered. It is that discipline is the mother of good character. Discipline is the mother of good character. We have said that effective leadership requires that you replace negative personal qualities with positive ones. For you to do that, you have to be a man or a woman of discipline. What is discipline? Doing what you have to do when you have to do it, regardless of how you feel. If you're going to be a person of character, you're going to be somebody given to discipline. Character is what? The foundation for trust. Trust is the environment where leadership, or where true leadership, effective leadership takes place. Why? Because when people trust you, they will commit to your cause. When people trust you, they will make personal sacrifices for your team, for your organization. We're talking about the top 5 qualities of a leader, and we have covered 2. We've talked about character. We've talked about charisma. The third, quality every leader must imbibe or develop is vision. Vision is number 3. Vision. What is vision? Vision is the ability to see beyond the obvious. Vision is the ability to see beyond the obvious. Or said in another way, vision is the ability to see with your mind. Or vision is the ability to see with your imagination. I like this description of a leader by Leroy Eames. Look at what he said. He said, a leader is one who sees more than others see, who sees farther than others see, and who sees before others do. So I say jokingly that leaders are seers, but it is the truth. And I don't mean that in the spiritual sense, but essentially leaders are seers. When everybody is looking at the same thing, a leader sees what everybody is looking at, and then he sees beyond what everybody is looking at. Okay? They see more, they see farther, they see before others do. And the reason why vision is important to you as a leader is because vision is attractive. The quality of your vision will determine the quality of your followers. Okay? The quality of your vision will determine the quality of your followers. And only a blind man will follow a blind man. What does that mean? The quality of your vision will determine the quality of the people that are attracted to your cause. And of course, you know, in life, you don't get what you want. In life, you get what your team can deliver. You don't get your dream, you get what your team can deliver. Yet, it is the quality of your vision that determines the quality of the people that are attracted to you. Somebody said, dream big, because big dreams attract big people. But small dreams attract small people, and small people cause big problems. So you want to see to it that you have quality vision. I must say to you that tonight's session is not where we are going to teach on how to, develop your vision. I've talked about it in some previous session, and we're going to talk about it in the future. And if you want to hear those kind of teachings from me, I'm going to encourage you to register for Lead to Win 2.0. As a matter of fact, the first virtual session is going to be this Saturday. If you are yet to register, you don't want to miss the opportunity to start off with us this Saturday. Okay, vision and things like this are the things we're going to be talking about in an exclusive way at Lead to Win 2.0. But let's continue with this quote by Nelson Searcy and Kerrick Thomas in the book Activate. All right, they said, average leaders focus on what happens next. Extraordinary leaders focus on what happens after what happens next. In other words, if you're going to be effective in leadership, you've got to see beyond the obvious. Like I said, it will take a bit of time, and that's not the focus for tonight. But as a leader, you must develop your ability to see possibilities. You must develop your ability to see potential. You must develop your ability to see beyond the obvious. If you're going to be effective in leadership, if you're going to attract quality people to your cause, it is going to be because of the quality of your vision. Let's run along this evening. Quality number 4. We're talking about the top 5 qualities of a leader. Quality number 4 is communication. Communication. As a matter of fact, I must say, it's one of my favorite things to talk about. Communication. And I like this definition of communication by Myron Rush. He said, communication can be defined as the process we go through to convey understanding from one person or group to another. Unless understanding occurs, we have not communicated. Poor communication, therefore, is not the absence of conversation, discussions, or memos. It is the lack of understanding. It is the lack of understanding. What I love about this vision is, look, communication is not just talking. Communication is not just writing. Communication is conveying understanding. So as a leader, you must realize, if I see a picture in my mind, communication is using words, okay, as tools and other things as tools to make sure that the picture in my mind is printed in the hearts of other people. Because if people can't see what you are seeing as a leader, then they cannot execute, they cannot bring into reality whatever it is that you are seeing in your imagination. I like to say it this way, that communication is to an organization what the blood is to the human body. The same way that the blood carries oxygen and other nutrients to organs of the body is the same way communication conveys vision and necessary information from the leader to the team members or to the people in the organization, and from the people in the organization to the leader. A particular research actually indicates that in some situations, only 7% of the complete message is communicated in the words spoken. The research says that the remaining 93% is transmitted through tone of voice, which is about 38%, or some non-verbal action or expression, that is body language, which is about 55%. I want you to get this. As I am speaking to you right now, just about 7%, okay, of what I am saying or what I intend to say is what you are receiving through the words that I am speaking. My tone of voice is responsible for 38%. My body language is responsible for 55%. What does that mean? Body language and tone of voice is responsible for 93% of communication. And so, if you are not trained, if you are not conscious, if you are not intentional, okay, in communication as a leader, you can be saying the right thing, yet people are getting the wrong message because of your tone of voice, because of your body language. And that's the reason why, if you're going to be effective as a leader, communication is something you must pay attention to. Another aspect of communication is listening. Somebody said that God gave us 2 ears and 1 tongue to indicate that we must listen twice as much as we speak. If you are going to be effective in leadership, you have to know how to listen. You have to know how to listen. And according to the research I shared with you right now, if 93% of what people are trying to say to you, okay, is through tone of voice and body language, if you are not sensitive as a leader, if you are not situationally aware, if you are not emotionally aware as a leader, people will be communicating and you won't even get the message. You will be fixated on the words they are speaking, and that's just about 7% of the communication. A lot of times what people are trying to say is in the statements that they have not said, or in the silences, okay, in their statements. The things they are not saying, okay, sometimes communicates much more about what they are trying to say than even the words that they are using. So if you're going to be effective as a leader, you've got to learn how to listen. You've got to learn how to observe. You've got to learn how to watch. Okay, be aware of the people around you, of how they are behaving, because a lot of what they are trying to say is not in the words that they are using. Let us finish up on communication with this beautiful quote by Robert Dylan Schneider. Look at what he said. This is so profound. I'm going to encourage you to read along with me. For those who are on Facebook, or if you're watching this video, please read along with me very, very slowly. There's a lot to glean from what we're about to read. All right. Robert Dylan Schreiner said, if you are communicating effectively, you will get positive recognition for your communication from the audiences you are trying to influence, which means people will think people will think what you are doing is right and that you are doing it in the right way. That's recognition. When you get positive recognition, your influence grows. You are perceived as competent, effective, worthy of respect, powerful. Power comes from remembering and using the linkage of communication, recognition, and influence. Let's read that last line again. Power comes from remembering and using the linkage of communication, recognition, and influence. If I were you, I would take time to go back to this teaching. I will pause at the point of this quote we just read, and I will take my time to read it over and over and over again. Let me read it again. I want you to listen attentively. If you are communicating effectively, this is what this quote is saying. As a leader, if you can take your time to train yourself on communication, this is what it says. If you are communicating effectively, you will get positive recognition for your communication from the audiences you are trying to influence, which means people will think what you are doing is right and that you are doing it in the right way. This is interesting. You are not necessarily doing the right thing. You are not necessarily doing it the right way. But if you communicate effectively, if you master communication, you will grow in influence. And it says you will be perceived as competent. You will be perceived as effective. You will be perceived as worthy of respect. This is how powerful communication is. You know, I said to my time one time like that. Why is it that when nations want to choose presidents, they have debates? Think about it. How can somebody make a speech for 40 minutes? Somebody speak for about 1 hour. And then you are willing to trust the person for the next 4 years. You're willing to trust the person for the next 8 years. It is because competence, ability is expressed through effective communication. This is how people think. If he can communicate well, he is powerful. If he can communicate well, he is competent. If he can communicate well, he is effective. If he can communicate well, he is worthy of respect. So if a leader wants to be influential, if a leader wants to be effective, what should he do? He should learn how to communicate. Yes, some people are gifted with communication, but communication is a bundle of skill that everybody can learn. See, it's a bundle of skills everybody can learn. Everybody can learn to communicate effectively. So if you want to be effective in your leadership, you want to take out time to understand communication, the principles of communication, okay, and to do what? To leverage those principles, use them very well to your advantage. And as I round up tonight, the fifth quality of effective leaders, we're talking about the top 5 qualities of a leader. The fifth one is what? A positive attitude. A positive attitude. This is what I have discovered. Effective leaders are incurable optimists. Effective leaders are incurable optimists. They know that life is like a coin with 2 sides, the positive and the negative. So having a positive attitude is knowing, look, in every negative situation, there are advantages. And in every advantage or in every positive situation, there are challenges. So effective leaders do not allow the negative situations or the challenges of life to take them by surprise. They know they are coming. They are expecting them to come. So when they come, they respond to challenges positively. And when they are in a beautiful environment, in a positive experience, they know there will be challenges. All right. So they are ready for those challenges. They make the most of them. If you are going to be effective as a leader, you've got to be positive in your attitude. You have to be an incurable optimists. To every situation, you've got to be able to see a way out. You've got to be able to see a way forward. Now, it's possible. Some people are naturally positive, okay, but it's possible for you to train yourself to see the bright side of every situation. It is possible for you to train yourself to be a positive person. And honestly speaking, that's what all the trainings, sessions, and everything we're doing, that's what it's all about. For you to develop your innate abilities so that you can become the best version of yourself. Okay, it is on this note, I'm going to round up tonight's session.